I wish you guys the best with your Yum Yum podcast.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Ryan.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I am back here again with you, so of course.
No.
So we are here today to do something very important.
Mm-hmm.
We're here today to talk about an episode of science fiction television, but not any old episode of science fiction television. No, because we bring something special to the mix. You see, we review episodes of sci-fi TV, but we bring a yum-yum perspective to it. What's yum-yum, you may ask? Are you asking, Rachel?
I know.
Do you?
I do. And you do this at the top of every episode anyway.
Because there may be some new listeners out there that don't understand that don't understand the glorious moment from Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, but we could be lazy like other podcasts.
We're not other podcasts, Rachel. We're Yum Yum
just
podcast.
Have an audio clip that you drop in that explains it instead of having to explain it
previously on Yum.
Hundreds of times.
But Rachel, here's why we explain it every time like we do. Because it's to ground us as well. If we just let it pass, then we would float up and never come back because we need to be grounded by the yum yum.
Burdened.
I didn't say that word. You did. I never said that. You said that. I say it's a liberating force.
Just like Commander Nandi said yum yum.
When offered the opportunity to kill the antagonist of the season 2 finale of Star Trek Discovery. And we thought that line and that moment was truly sublime, sexy, and funny that we needed to name the podcast after it. And we are going through Killjoys, the sci-fi series. I have seen it before, and Rachel, you have not seen the show before. How dare you? How dare you?
Fuck you.
How dare you? What was your excuse for not seeing it when it initially aired?
If I hadn't seen it, then we would have a very different experience going through it for the pod.
You bring up a great point. I retract my question, and instead I say thank you. Thank you for now coming to it for the podcast, because that is how we go about things. And we are midway through season 2, Rachel. Halfway through the second season already. How time flies.
Yeah, it does go quick.
This episode's been fairly quick in its pace and overall momentum of things. It's pretty non-stop for the most part. So how about you tell us what episode of season 2 we are talking about today?
Johnny goes back to Creche to meet the parents.
Oh, that's the name of the episode.
Meanwhile, Clyde and Davin have their own adventure.
They do sure have an adventure. I thought you.
Went simple.
I thought you would love to hear the IMDb summary of Meet the Parents. Chicago male nurse and chronic underachiever Greg Fokker meets his charming teacher girlfriend Pam Burns' parents, Jack and Dina, before proposing. But suspicious Jack is an overprotective former CIA agent. Every date's worst nightmare. That's a pretty good summary of Meet the Parents.
I was going to try and work into my summary, can you milk me? But
yeah, you need to say it. It's funnier when you say it. Can I just say the first sentence of this actual IMDb summary available for the film Meet the Parents? Just the first sentence, because it's such a wild sentence to put in. A Jewish male nurse plans to ask his live-in girlfriend to marry him. I'm glad that they included that aspect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I feel like
Thank you,
Americans place way more significance on moving in with each other as being like a really pivotal thing in a relationship. Like, you're serious, you've moved in together. And we're just like, yeah.
We're much more relaxed as a culture.
Yeah. But it's just like,
But we say that because it was easy enough when we did it and when we met the parents for one another. We didn't go through such a tumultuous situation as the characters of this episode, let alone the characters of the feature film Meet the Parents and sequel film Meet the Fockers.
Mm-hmm. And the third film.
Well, that's about the children. That's not the same. That's not the same deal. We haven't entered that territory yet, so I can't talk about little Fockers with expertise yet. But everyone, once Rachel and I have children, we'll update you on how Little Fockers feels on the rewatch. Or the first watch. I've never
watched it.
Wow! I know what we're covering on the Patreon. The Fockers films, all of them. But we're having a bit of a laugh here because Killjoys is a very funny show in itself. And we like to look at the moment that we found to be a laugh out loud situation for us. And when we were watching this and recording our reaction, we stopped several times. We had some good chuckles. This was consistently a very funny episode while still maintaining the drama of it all. Quite the roller coaster ride. I know what my moment is, and it's the whole greetings of the family members at the dinner table on Creche and just the whole rigmarole of ceremony and the dinging of the bell and Johnny not knowing what to do. It's a simple gag. It's a well-trodden gag, but I always fall for it. I always have a big smile on my face.
You know what else is well-trodden ground? People love boobs. And my yum laugh is Davin saying, "Have you met boobs?"
He's just trying to explain to Dutch why Johnny's attracted to a very sexy lady.
Yeah,
that isn't her.
By asking a woman who has great boobs, "Have you met boobs?"
Yeah, they're all right. Yeah. I need to know, Rachel. We're talking about breasts, but we need to. I think we need to know how long it's been since someone's been kicked in another region of the body.
Too many episodes since a night shot. Too many, which is more than one. No. I
was going to say, we had 2 bitches in this episode. We dropped.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's right. 2 of them.
I think it's 4 episodes now.
4 episodes? We had it in the second episode, so I think it's been 3.
3.
Keep it together, Rachel. You're the keeper of the nuts.
Info bandits sometimes use a device. It's called a smuggler's nut.
Hey, you son of a bitch. Tell me what I need to know about who wrote and who also directed this episode, Meet the Parents.
That was uncalled for.
How dare you?
That was just plain mean. The writer of this episode is Adam Barkin.
A returning face.
Yes, from Glitch in the System fame.
Season 1, episode 5. Mm-hmm. And now he's here for season 2, episode 5.
Yeah.
We've talked about him before. We don't need to get into it too much deeper than what we did in terms of what his credits have been. It is important to note he will become one of the co-showrunners of the series and one of the most prominent and recurring guest writers. He's only done 2 so far, but he will step up over the course of time. And, how did you feel about his outing this time in terms of writing? Last time it was very genre-heavy with horror. This one, less so.
Yes, but it still had a couple of the similar markers of feeling very contained. Like, it wasn't as true of a sort of bottle episode as Glitch in the System was, but it was very focused and grounded in these specific locations.
He very much is keeping his finger on the pulse of the dynamics of the characters. Last time he was here, there was great back and forth between the characters, and that was very much the case here, especially with Johnny and Potter. That was the glue of the episode. But we have a new director, someone who has not done an episode of Killjoys before. He does
come back.
Yes, next season he will return for an episode. But who do we have directing this?
Jeff Renfro?
Say it again with more question marks.
Jeff Renfro?
Yes, thank you. One more time, but with less question marks. Just say it one more time for me normal. Then I can use. Then I'll use it.
Jeff Renfro.
Jeff Renfro. He's not a Jeff Renfriend. He's a Jeff Renfro. And what a director. Why are you laughing, Rachel? This is a very serious episode with a very talented director behind it. He has done numerous films, but it seems in the last decade or so, he's become a mainstay for the Sci-Fi Channel directing their works. He's done a whole bunch of Chucky recently. What a great show. I love Chucky's awesome.
Not often breaking 10 episodes.
No, Chucky's
He's got like
high up there with 6.
Some 1s, some 2s, some 3s, few 4s.
And then Chucky's half dozen, so that's the most notable. He did a lot of that Haven show, which I've never watched.
He did Houdini
is it
and
any
Doyle
good?
too.
Yeah. Are these good?
I don't think so.
No, they are. Like, Helix was a well-regarded show. He did a bunch of Helix.
I think they are decent, but not lasting shows.
I always wonder this because, as we have mentioned before, Killjoys has a history and a connection, and obviously is made in part by the Sci-Fi Channel. And we also did The Expanse when it first started on the Sci-Fi Channel. But you and I have not watched a lot of Sci-Fi Channel shows, and their reputation and their qualities of shows are often looked down upon. But you see so many of them on there, and they often have decent ratings, good cult followings, but not enough where there's such a huge word of mouth. Like, we are covering this series that I find to be very interesting because it has, it's an original show that got to finish, but it doesn't have like the biggest cult audience out there. And I don't know why for Killjoys, but like with some of the others, like Helix was an interesting, fascinating show. And this person directed a couple of that. And then like Haven is one where it's like that has a whole bunch of episodes, bunch of episodes, has really good
Also
actors in it, but I don't know much about it either.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast
is on that list.
He did the American version of Being Human.
I don't want to talk about that one.
Have you ever watched Being Human?
I watched the UK version.
Which fell apart.
But I loved it in its messiness. And I tried the American one, and I was like, it just doesn't have the heart.
Yeah. He also has done a few films. Not
and
too
a few
many
TV films
and a few TV movies. I look, we can go through them, but the most important one, and I think you know what the most important one is of his films, the TV movie. I think you can say its name. I don't think I need to sugarcoat it. We both know the film because it's got a great title.
The one that really tickled my fancy was Stranger with My Face.
That's the one.
But
how could it be any other film? Stranger with My Face. Directed by Jeff Renfro, not Jeff Renfriend.
See, I was going to bring up that he seems to have started off doing some music videos.
No. Who cares? He directed Stranger with My Face. Not my face, Rachel.
Not your face, with the actress's face.
We have gone through a lot of his work here, and it varies in genre, varies in tones and styles. But what did we feel about his efforts in this episode? This is also the highest rated episode of the second season we've watched so far, according to IMDb.
It felt really solid, but not particularly showy. I found his direction fairly bland, except for there was a little bit of a spark when it came to the set pieces of the episode, like when the first person breaks down into ice and the fight scene between Fancy and Davin as Klein.
Yeah. The episode is made up from the story and from the acting. The direction isn't anything to write home about. It isn't over the top. It isn't particularly stylish. It's stock standard stuff. But the story that this episode is telling is very enthralling, insightful, exciting, and worthwhile. It's definitely been one of the best of the season so far. I think it does have the merit of all of the ratings that have gone behind it.
I felt like the stuff on Crash was much better and more enjoyable overall than the stuff on Lucy, but the stuff on Lucy was more fun. So I ended up enjoying both elements of the plot in terms of what's happening in this episode. I ended up enjoying them a similar amount, but for different reasons.
It can be very easy for a bounty hunter type show or show like this to get stuck in the rhythm and the pattern of each week we do a warrant.
And to just keep up that momentum of each episode is a new warrant. It has shifted and evolved beyond needing that just basic fundamental thing. And it's nice the way that the warrant is integrated into this, but the fact that it's less and less important as the episode goes on, and it feels like the warrants themselves in the show are becoming less and less important. And these Killjoys, it's becoming less and less important to them that they are Killjoys.
You deserve better, Potter Sims.
So do the people of Old Town. Isn't that why we came here?
Are you asking me as your official rack escort? Where's Johnny Jacoby? Scoundrel.
Let's just go straight to Crash. Let's meet those crashy rich bitch parents, shall we?
Yeah,
And the
we've
sister.
We've met Saya Sims's mother now. We met her dad via the video call.
We met her mum last season. Johnny met her and she gave him the cold shoulder.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And she was there when Dulcea took power.
That's
And she was
true.
complicit in that.
Damn.
Yeah, and same actress as well,
Mhm.
which is always great.
Yes. Love that continuity. But we meet them for the first time in person in the same room.
Of both parents, yes.
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 Because we didn't meet the dad in person yet.
No, he was a hologram.
Yes. Yes.
It's the first time we've seen Potter with her parents
Yeah. Which
in person.
was nice because it's exactly the way that she said that it was going to be. And I appreciate Johnny just being wrong about them and then being pissed that Porter was right.
It's not as simple as he wants it to be. This family, they are on the surface cold, rich, uncaring, airheaded, empty people, basically. The sister, she's a small player in this episode, but she is an important one because she is
Luella.
She is the quintessential vapid rich bitch archetype. She's
But
learning
she cares about the stuff. She's learning how to deep water dive.
She cares about her sister at the end of the day.
Yeah, she cares about her sister. She cares about her family. She wants to do the right thing.
And she's intelligent as well. She puts on this girly mode almost because of her boyfriend figure. But once he leaves
Fiance.
yes, much to the dad's dismay. But once he leaves the plot, she snaps into a completely different mode and they all work together really well as a family. And she's lost a hand by this point as well because she gets a bit of this toxic ice contagion on her, and they have to cut off her hand. And she's a real trooper. Like, there's another version of this episode where this character is an insufferable two-dimensional whining character throughout the whole entire thing.
But Killjoys does something more interesting.
It
uses the tropes, but...
Yeah, I mean, it makes us think back to in the episode Shaft, where they met that lone survivor, and she was never afforded this level of characterization, but took up the same amount of screen time and plot relevance. But she was just a shrill, oh no, I'm crazy, nothing character. So when we get characters like this, it just makes you appreciate when the show does step up to that caliber, because, you know, she helps save the day. She, because of her hobby, with deep sea swimming and all of that, she is the one that has the equipment for them to be able to get through the toxic ice later on, and she's the one that has the eureka moment, and no one listens to her initially because they think that she's just being annoying.
Yeah, she's just like, I wanted to go diving. So they think that she's just talking about that because she wanted to go diving after dinner, which is how this all started.
It's how they got warned of everything. But yeah, just going to her. But then we also have like her fiance, who's clearly bad guy. And
used to date her sister.
Mm.
Which it's always weird. It's always weird. I'm just off the back of watching all 3 seasons of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I never got over it there, and it's a central thing.
It's a central thing in this show as she's deepening her relationship with Johnny after she just had a relationship with Davin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still weird.
This show likes doing that, doesn't it? But he's bad guy McBad guy. He's clearly the guy who's going to be behind the shenanigans. He leaves the plot so that he can come back later and have a reveal.
He runs away so he can literally have like
a dramatic reveal. It was him. And take off the helmet. Yeah. A face reveal. And he has evil facial hair. He has like a little devil facial hair, and I just giggled. I'm like, oh, this guy's clearly evil. And you were like, I hope they hurt him later. I'm like, oh, I bet you they will. Because
but I wanted one of the sisters to get to hurt him.
It was the dad in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the best character of the episode, and one of the greatest performances was Potter's dad.
I loved him so much. And I feel like the characters and me as a viewer are going to continue to chew on things that he said. Like Johnny already does within this episode of the sometimes you have choices and sometimes you don't have choices.
Because Johnny really butts heads with the dad, who is nothing but nice and calm, and he seems the most personable. But Johnny just can't get past his preconceived notions of this man. And also that how can someone like him, how can a father like him not choose his child, not choose his daughter? How can he disown his own daughter? And with Johnny's background, and this is even further highlighted by what's happening with Davin and Klein, that because of their father, this abusive relationship is just reinforced this idea of like, if you aren't a good parent in this certain way, then you are a bad person. And if you are a bad person, that means you're an irredeemable person. And how can you live with yourself? You are a monster. And the father, Potter's father in this, just challenges him so many times throughout the episode because life's more complicated. People have different circumstances, different contexts, different points of view,
I made
different
a
attitudes.
choice between 2 women that I love. And he describes it as like he chooses his wife because she makes him a better man.
But yet, how can you be a better man when she's making you disown your own child who you love? And Johnny's right. He's 100%
But like
correct.
the dad is also right.
Yeah, the dad's right in the long term of the episode as well. But yeah, I really thought that the character was brought to life magnificently. by the actor. He was very charming. He commanded the screen. He just has such a great voice, but also just the way he carried himself. We got to learn more about like how he was a commoner. He was just a guy who made furniture and worked for the family, and then she married down. She went below her station, and it was a big deal. And although that's like one scene where we get that explained to us, you feel the truth of that with just the way that he presents himself. Although he's very regal and mannered, there's just something about the way he looks at people and the way he talks to Johnny that you can feel like he was not born with the silver spoon in the mouth.
Yes. And I like the reveal that he was a carpenter, because he's making these ornate things for these people, and you get the sense that he's like, there's more of it, that they've either kept it around or he's kept up the trade, but that he is a part of this world that is ignored the way that the furniture is.
And the dynamic that he has with the mother, with the matriarch, with his wife, it's the contrasting things of their family. It's the opposing things of the family. Like, he is much more down to earth. He's much more much more of a empathetic man. But the wife, she's thinking about the big picture. They give you an understanding of why she acts the way that she acts, but it's not like at the end of the day you clap your hands and go, look, she was harsh but fair. No, she was harsh and she had a rationale, but it wasn't fair and it wasn't loving. Like, even after she dies, Potter's just like, she never said she loved me.
No.
And it's like, and the sister makes the coping comment of like, all of this.
Giving orders was her way of saying I love you, I think.
It's not good enough.
I just lost a hand too, guys.
And we've had these conversations throughout
and now both my parents
are dead. Yeah, because both of them die. But we've had this conversation a lot about the haves and have-nots, and we get to see it within a family of haves.
Yes, and that it is not as simple as you want it to be. And the show has done a lot to demonize the company and the Nine, and getting to step into this world with Porter and Johnny makes it clear that nobody's winning, and it's this vicious cycle that is ongoing. And the mum has a really nice way of putting it, which is like, to protect what you love, you have to become what you hate, or something to that effect, where it's just like you have to do these things to protect your loved ones. You have to participate in the system to try and fix the system. And it's like, well, that's not working, is it?
It's the siren song of how monsters justify their actions to themselves. I'm doing this for the betterment of you. I'm doing this for your sake.
I don't want to do this. You're making me do this.
Or it has to be done. There's no other choices to be made. Tell me about Potter, though, herself, after all of this, and how this helped to inform us about her. Because we're talking so much about her family, but it always, like with any story about families, it's about the person.
Yeah,
in the center
and
of it.
this is our end point, is Porter and her perspective on things. And it's interesting to see how much she is transparent with Johnny about struggling being back in that house with those people, and feeling like she is just slips straight back into being a scared little girl.
Cressy Potter and Old Town Potter are different people.
And that she has to switch modes, but also figure out how to be both at the same time, because she needs to use her political advantages to benefit Old Town. She's not doing this to just go back into the world that she left behind and, be the daughter that her mother wanted. That's not what happens. And that easily could have been this story of, I'm now in charge of the family. I have to do the right thing by them. But it continues to be, I'm going to use my heritage to my advantage and try and wrangle a better situation for these people who are suffering.
How's Old Town?
Still behind a big-ass wall.
I'm gonna have to go up against a lot of people to bring it down.
Well, like I said, I am an excellent wingman.
I'm not the biggest romance fan in my sci-fi. If it's done well, I appreciate it. Like Babylon 5 I found to be very good with romance, especially long-term relationships. But the courting phase, this flirtation phase, the phase of will they, won't they, or are they getting together now phase. What about that is appealing to you? And how does Killjoys manage to do that? For me, what I love is they don't stop plot just so that the characters can do the romance scene now.
No, it's something that's happening in their lives, but it's not what their lives are.
The romance in this episode is helped to be informed and furthered from them taking action in the story that is in front of them.
I'm enjoying the way that they're doing it with Porter and Johnny because it feels organic. It doesn't feel like, well, Johnny's got to have a romantic partner and it's got to be somebody that we know. And it's like, no, they had a connection, they had a spark, and then now are both like, is this going to be a thing? Are we doing this? What does this look like?
And there's no judgment between the two of them either.
No.
Dutch and Davin, they started from places of judgment of one another and of each other.
Of being like, oh, well, we're off limits to each other. We can't do this. We can't do this. We're going to continue to flirt with each other. Oh, you're hot. I'm hot.
But also, who the fuck
Oops,
are
we fell
you?
into
What's your
bed.
secret past? Tell me your deal. Johnny and Potter, like, they are pretty upfront with what their fucked up shit is, and they just don't mind. They just keep going at it.
They're just continuing to be the people that they are.
I was engaging with some of the online discussions for the show. As I promote our podcast, I like to engage with things and look at things. And I saw people talking about like, oh man, it's always so much of a whiplash of like how suddenly Johnny and Potter get together. Like their romance is really quick for people. And it's like, oh, yeah, since I knew what the show did, when I was rewatching the first season, I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty obvious.
Yeah,
like,
the
pretty
seeds there.
But even you never really brought up this romantic stuff between the two being a possibility until it really presented itself a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like, whoa, what are they doing here? It's like, oh, okay, they're doing that.
Yeah, and why is that the case? Like, how did it manage to succeed in that way?
Well, we always knew that they were more friendly, but there was a barrier there because Dutch doesn't like Porter.
And because of Davin's relationship with her.
And then later that. But I feel like if Dutch liked Porter in the first place, even before Davin entered the picture, then maybe something could have already happened there. But because Dutch doesn't like her, Johnny didn't open himself up to that in that way.
Yeah, in the first season, they were literally trapped together. That's how this started. They were trapped in the rain, and he got to know her outside of her job. He's only known her as a function until the events of the later part of the first season. He's only known her as the doc. Now he knows her as a person, which is not what Davin got. Davin only knew her as like the doctor and the object of sex, which is, again, we talked about that. Davin and Potter's relationship was very transactional and very, very manipulative. But it's the exact opposite case with this. We've talked around it, but there was an assassination plot in this story where this deadly pathogen that turns people into ice blocks and breaks them is unleashed, and it's revealed that the mother created this, that she was engineering this, and she had a certain rationale, and that it wasn't ready yet. It was supposed to just freeze like the earth. It wasn't supposed to freeze people. It's supposed to freeze like plants and
Yeah. But it's like, how can a pathogen know the difference? Like, water's water?
But what was her
But,
reasoning for...
sci-fi-ness.
What was her... Yeah, exactly. We have hack mods.
She wants to be able to make Kresh uninhabitable for people who choose it.
In what way do you take that?
I don't know.
I took it as like, from what she said, it was almost like a fail-safe device of, if we lose Kresh, I will make sure with this no one gets it. Meanwhile, on Lucy, Davin and Dutch, they're just having a good time. They're just chilling out. They're doing their things. Dutch is just, worried still about the overarching plot. But Davin, he's got eyes on a new person now. Someone who I'm sure
Sabine.
I'm sure that you're a
was
huge fan of.
instantly like, he basically did baboing eyes when he met her.
Oh, he saw boobs and he just went boing, and that wasn't his eyes going boing.
And he's concerned because he faints in front of her.
I'm more concerned because she was the bartender at the Royal, and that means we didn't get any pre this week.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't both of them behind the bar.
No, it was just a pretty blonde lady instead. And
I want Pre more.
We all look. If he fell in love with Pre, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, come on, let it be. I ship it. Why not? I think there would be a weird dynamic. But Sabine is a character that they randomly introduced so that he could have goo eyes for her, and then he faints in front of her because green goo is vibrating in his head so much that he faints.
Yeah, because Klein's tapping into him.
Yeah. All right. Now, with the Davin and Dutch stuff, it is mainly about Klein. It is about how Klein hijacks their story so that he could do his story, because Klein is on the move again.
Yeah, and he's gone to Talon, and he's found it, like, through using Davin's mind, he's able to, track down quickly Davin's dad and Mr. Jacoby's. And then he doesn't get what he wants from Matt. Like, Klein doesn't get what he needs from the dad. It's only really from switching bodies, which was not what he intended to do, that he actually gets the information that he needs.
What is he looking for?
He wants to understand why the goo doesn't work on Davin. And he was like, okay, well,
why can he manipulate it?
Step one, see if it's genetic. So they insert the dad with goo. They almost kill him.
He's like an old crotchety man who barely gets out of a chair.
And I thought,
I was hoping the dad would be played by like some sci-fi legend of some sort, because we got that last season with Amanda Tapping as like the woman behind the Jacoby, behind Davin's experiments, which does come back up at the end of this episode, but their dad was just some like good working Canadian character actor, man.
Yeah, it was just a guy. But he did convincingly play an elderly alcoholic.
Yeah, but Klein, he's like, well, if it's not from the dad, it must be from the mother. Where's the mother? And that's why he needs to directly find out from Davin, because the dad's not telling.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll just ask. And we know from the first episode that the mum's dead.
Mhm.
Davin didn't know that until he
Yep.
was informed.
But now in this show, that like Johnny found out that she's dead secondhand. He wasn't there.
Davin.
No, what wasn't Johnny found out too?
No.
Was he there?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the first episode, he's like, Mum died, where were you?
Yeah, but I thought that he wasn't there either.
I don't know about
I
that.
thought that
he
she died
was. I thought,
after he left.
yeah, but no, I thought I can't remember the exact timeline. I couldn't remember
Because
if
I
he
was gonna say,
died and then he was stuck, if she died and then he was stuck with the dad.
Yeah.
But
And then left. Because I was going to say, like, if he wasn't there, how trustworthy is it that she's actually dead?
yes. Whew. Look, it's science fiction 101. You have to do a body swap episode at some point.
You gotta!
And we haven't had that many body swap episodes in
No.
through our podcast adventures. I think it's mainly come up in like Strange New Worlds when we did that for the Patreon, and like body takeovers. We've had a bunch. Like someone else like physically is like they're in the body and they're like assimilating it, like with Borg and all of that.
Oh,
but like
yeah. We had that in a bunch of
Star Trek Picard had it. A
yeah,
bunch.
but we're
Strange New
also for
Worlds.
Patreon when we did the top 5 and bottom 5.
Yes, of Star Trek. And Discovery had that a bit too, where it's like, oh no, Tilly has a thing in her brain. Uh-oh, what will we do? But we haven't really had body swap episodes. And this is what we have. We have Davin resists Klein to the point in which they now swap bodies, and we get the joy of seeing each actor interpret the other actor's performance.
And they both do an amazing job. Like, usually it's like one person gets it more than the other, but they both do an amazing job adapting their performance to the other person's style. So it does feel really telling, and it makes a lot of sense when Fancy is immediately like,
He knows.
no.
You're Davin. I know this. Well, the thing about body swap things is it's always about how the actors are having fun. And we have fun with them. We get to enjoy them doing a voice or changing their physicality or things of that nature. And we get that here.
You hurt.
No, Jacoby is hurt. I need to send a message to my partner to switch us back before certain people catch up to him. Me. It's confusing.
What I love about this body swap is it really, really emphasizes how physical the performances are from both actors when they're playing their normal character. But when Rob Stewart has to do his take on Davin, you really get it really highlights how physical that performance is. Like the way Rob Stewart is doing his version of Davin, it's like everything is just hanging down low. The shoulders are slumped. He's doing all of these big arm and hand gestures, and the way he sways back and forth. And like when he does a fight, it's like really slow and lumbering and heavy. And you may take that for granted when you're just watching Luke McFarlane do Davin as regular because, you know, it's just a normal thing. But like when you see the other actor imitate it, it's like, oh yeah, it is a really physical thing. While with Klein, we've always noticed how physical it is because he feels otherworldly. He feels very feline and very regal and very inhuman in a lot of ways. And so getting to see Luke McFarlane bring that to the table, and just the way, like, everything he does in that performance is almost like his eyes are just straightforward and his head is almost like being picked up. Like he's just so straight in the, like just so like straight edge, and like there's no like crinkling of the body when he does it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's what you want from a Killjoys version of a body swap.
When we were watching this for the reaction, you and I both, because I had forgotten that there was a body swap in the show, I'll be honest with you. but you and I both were like, that's not right. When Klein said shit,
Yeah.
that was like the first tip of like, oh, they've body swap, but it happened so quickly. It's like shit, and it's like Klein wouldn't say that.
No. I don't think he got to say hells though. The dad did. We mentioned it, but I did like Fancy just being like, nope. And Davin being like, you're not buying this, are you? And he's like, no.
Davin feeling powerful because Klein is this invulnerable killing machine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Klein is like getting really annoyed with
destroying
pain.
Davin's body.
And he's like, oh, pain, I haven't felt that in quite some time. Oh, it's such a funny sensation. Then later on, he's like, I'm rather tired of this pain sensation.
And, you know, it's not a fun moment, but it's an important moment when Dutch admits that she doesn't hate him anymore and she doesn't like that.
It was
She
easier.
misses the simplicity of just hating him.
Yeah, that was something. And I like that Lucy's just completely like unsure of what to do during all of this as well. She's just like, but it's Davin. It's like, no, it's Klein now. It's like, okay. We didn't have it in the Yum Yum laugh, but one of the great moments is when the A and B story connected to ask each other what they should do about their respective storylines. When Johnny and Dutch phone each other and they're being very coy. It's like, hey, just random question. What would you do, say, if a consciousness swapped with another one's body? How would you reverse that? And just him being like, oh, yeah, you do this. But, you know, hypothetically speaking, if I had to explode a bunch of gas in this way that wouldn't kill us, how much explosive material should I use for that?
And they're both just like, okay.
You're
I'm
right.
not going to press, but we're here for each other.
Yeah, I'm here for you if
I'm
you
here
need
for
it.
you.
Yeah, totally. That's fine.
I know that you would come if I ask you.
Let's talk about the father-son stuff with Davin.
It's a nice sort of a counterpoint to Dutch's moment with Klein. Because both of them are admitting to their fathers / father figure that they don't hate them anymore. That they don't want to be like them. That they also don't want to just simply see them hurt or dead.
And they can't deny how much what they did, as bad as it was, has forged them into the people they are today.
Like, Davin goes out of his way to try and protect his dad.
But he also says, like, you do what I say, you son of a bitch.
Yes.
He's not frightened of him.
No, he's no longer frightened of him, but that doesn't mean that he's forgiven. Just because you no longer hate somebody doesn't mean that you go back to loving them.
Which is an important thing to say. Because I had that concern about reframing Klein not as our enemy at the beginning of the season. But he's done so many horrible things, and what he's made Dutch into is pretty irredeemable. And thankfully, you know, all these episodes later, the show hasn't forgotten that, even though she no longer hates him. She can't love him. She can't forgive him at the moment either. And he's not seeking any of those things. And when he's on his own, when he's like doing what he's doing, he is being unrepentantly evil while doing it. There's no like, we're told, oh, he's
no
actually...
No qualms to be found here.
And the way that they direct it and the way that he's performing it, it's not trying to even play into the idea of we misunderstood him. He wasn't a bad guy. No, he's a bad guy. He just may not be our quintessential bad guy, if you catch what I mean.
He's a bad guy, but he's not their enemy.
It's a question of like, is he a villainous force working for our benefit? And it's like, how much does that matter?
Yeah. How much of an antagonist is an antagonist does an antagonist do?
And even then, he's still a vague little shit. He's just like, oh, by the way...
And he's delighting in it, too.
Oh, I sent that transmission. Oh, you found it? Oh, once you crack the code, I'm not going to tell you, by the way, it will answer all your questions. Bye! Just...
gonna kick you one last time, Dutch. I'm gonna make sure that you still come after me.
Was that too much?
Nah, that was fine. Like, it felt very on brand for Klein.
That's it. Because that can be so irritating when
It's like,
a show on purposely
fucking hell,
does
you
the...
just had to get it in there, didn't you?
We're teasing you, tee-hee-hee. But it works because, as you said, it's on brand for his character. He loves doing that. He loves making things esoteric and hard to get, and you have to work for it. Like, he wants you to work for it because his whole attitude is almost like how the Potter's mother is like, you have to endure and you have to go through hellfire to come out the other side and be what I need you to be. So do what I need you to be. Now, stop running around and playing Doctor. Now, stop running around and playing Killjoy.
I know what's best.
I know what's best. And
I know the reality of the universe, and you don't yet understand.
But the other thing that we leave off on in this episode is...
They kiss!
Who?
Johnny and Porter.
Okay, thank you. I was like, we're just talking about Klein, so I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, but that's the other thing that we leave off. Like, we have the kiss, and it's really nice reflections after her coronation, and Johnny doesn't tell Dutch.
Dutch gives him a big hug, a long embrace, and she is so happy that Johnny is her gravity. Johnny's the person that she can rely on, and if anything changed, you would tell me and I would tell you, right? And he's not telling.
But she's also not telling him, because we haven't seen her admit to Johnny that she doesn't hate Klein anymore.
No, we did. We saw that last season. When they were sitting in the car, that was their discussion.
Oh, yeah.
So she is.
No, but like she oh, yeah, I suppose it makes sense.
She told him first. She told him first.
No.
Now she's told Klein that.
Yes, but I meant, like, we don't get to see that moment of her unraveling, actually saying that to him. I know that she told Johnny first.
This is bullshit. Like, it's fun bullshit. Like, I don't hate it, but it's like that type of writing bullshit where it's like, we're gonna have a bit of a tension underlying their dynamic.
We've got to have
we
a
don't
wedge.
have one. We've got to have something because Johnny and Davin and Dutch are relatively fine.
Yep.
Dutch and Davin have a problem, but Johnny doesn't really have a huge problem with either party right now. So now we need to have it where he will...
Something's got to be giving tension.
But is it bad? When we break it down like that, it sounds like that. But when we watched it, I thought it was
it's serviceable. Like, we know what purpose it's there for, but it feels organic within the show.
It doesn't feel like a huge betrayal waiting because they all already know that he is forming a relationship.
Yes.
What the secret is he is so committed to this that he's no longer as invested in being just a killjoy. And that the warrant is all. It's not all for him anymore.
Yeah.
And Dutch and Davin, to a degree, need that to be the case for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if he goes, what happens to them?
Yes.
They talked about this last episode. He's the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to take that away from him? And now he is suggesting that he takes that away from them.
Yeah, because he's not willing to suppress that.
But he is for the second being because he's holding it from Dutch.
Yeah, but that doesn't feel like it's because he doesn't want to share it with her. He's protecting Porter and what they're going to be doing.
And he's still figuring it out for himself. This is still a new thing for him.
If it was as straightforward as he'd started hooking up with Porter, I don't think that there would be a secret there.
There wouldn't be an issue, no.
It's the fact that they're going to be doing this political work together.
And his attitudes have changed, as said. Like, if it was just he hooks up with Potter and he keeps it a secret, that wouldn't feel true. But it's the fact that he is coming to terms with the fact that this life that he has lived for all of these years with Dutch isn't enough for him anymore.
What about the warrant is all?
That's Killjoy Johnny. Crushy Fireball Johnny wants something different.
What?
to give a shit.
This episode is a yum yum.
Yum yum.
Oh yeah, it's a straight yum yum.
Yum yum.
Now the next episode,
I know the title.
you know the title because you looked ahead, naughty.
I did no.
Yeah, you did because you looked up a director and you saw the name of the other episode they directed.
Yeah, but I didn't look ahead on purpose. I didn't scroll down and be like, oh, I wonder what episode 6 is. Like, you get me to look up the directors, and then sometimes I see episode titles because of that.
There's ways of
What?
being able to not see it.
Yeah, but I like looking up and seeing whether they've done ones that we've watched or ones that we haven't watched.
Ah, Rachel. Well, this is how you fell into the trap of knowing that the next episode is called I Love Lucy. No, not the TV show, but it's an episode with the name of one of the characters we don't get a lot of in it.
No,
Lucy.
But we both love Lucy.
We both love Lucy. So everyone, make sure to tune in and hear us talk about that and see us watch it as well. We have our reactions available on our YouTube as well as on our Patreon, and fully
the
unedited
version
versions
is on Patreon, as well as so much bonus content. Over 5 years worth.
All of our stuff gets released there first. So if you want to hear episodes early, head on over to Patreon, Yum Yum Podcast on Patreon.
If you want to discuss it with the other Yumlings, you can do so in our private Discord if you are a patron.
If you want to follow us elsewhere on the internet, we're available under yumyumpod or Yum Yum Podcast on all of those social media platforms, as well as all the podcasting platforms.
And what is our email address, Ryan?
yumyumpod@gmail.com. Everything is included in the description of this episode for your convenience. So make sure to look there for it. Rate and review the podcast. We'd very much appreciate your thoughts and feedback, and share the show around. If you are someone who is going through a Killjoys watch through for the first time or a rewatch, and you know other people who may enjoy a companion podcast for those said reasons, let them know Yum Yum Pod is doing Killjoys. Not a lot of Killjoys podcasts out there, and even fewer Killjoys reactions are out there too. I think at the moment we have now surpassed any other person who has uploaded Killjoys reactions out there, because I think the one who got the furthest last stopped like a bit midway through season 2, and I think we're now ahead. So we'll see how we go. But until
I didn't know we were even in that race.
We are. Apparently, it was a race. I only found this out myself because we had a lovely comment on one of our YouTube channels letting us know, like, hey, it's great to actually see someone get further in the Killjoys reactions. I was like, I guess that means something. To end this on, Rachel, do you have any memories that stand out of meeting my parents? I know.
Yeah.
What's something that you would like to share?
Well, like, I remember that I got to meet your mum first, and then you told me about a thing that she does, and then she did this thing within like the first 10 minutes of me meeting her. And she was so happy doing it.
What is the thing?
The thing is where she does something and then she like kind of blames it on you and goes, how could you do that in front of your mother?
Oh yeah, it's very jokey, yeah.
Yeah, because we were in the car driving back to your house and she did a massive fart. It shook the driver's seat while she was driving. And she's just like, Ryan!
For me, you know, I got to, when I met your father, it was a thing of like, I knew ahead of time that your father was missing some digits because he worked at an abattoir.
Parts.
Missing parts.
Of his fingers.
Oh, yes. See, you're getting into it further.
Yes.
And so when I met him, I knew that. But what I wasn't prepared for was just how fat those digits were. And he wasn't a fat guy, but like he just had like thick fingers, and how like calloused they were.
Yeah.
So it was very strange where I knew
the nubs were fully calloused over.
And the nubs were like bigger than the digit that it was attached to, like a kind of bulbed effect. Because I've known people with like missing fingers and digits, and I've never seen that effect with the ones I know. So it was that thing of like, when I shook his hand, I was like, holy crap, there's more here than I was expecting.
Yeah, because he was a lefty.